It's that time of the year again. We almost are at the launch of the new iPhone at Apple's planned launch event, which is rumored to be in mid-September. Apple is as usual planning a long list of features, and I've taken the time to list the 5 big rumored features that will make a massive difference to your life and justify waiting for the new iPhone rather than buying one today. Also, one of these features is absolutely shocking, and if it's true, it will mean that Apple has done what the entire smartphone industry couldn't do in 20 years. So what's till the end to find out which it is? I'm Akshay Goenka, and let's talk about the 5 big rumored features on the iPhone 15 that truly matter for you and will change your experience using a smartphone. Before we continue, please do hit subscribe and turn on notifications to keep me motivated to stay up late at night making these videos for you. So, feature 1 is the massively improved camera. While there are so many technical upgrades, let me distill what matters for you, and that's going to be the wider f1.7 aperture lens that will let in about 15-20% more light and enhance the color of your pictures and make the camera faster so you don't miss a moment that you want to capture. The other important upgrade in the camera will be the rumored 5 to 10x optical zoom versus the 3x optical zoom we get on the iPhone 14 Pro. The iPhone 15 lens is rumored to be a 48 megapixel wide angle lens with between 5 and 10x of optical zoom as reported by the very reliable analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. It's actually very possible that the iPhone 15 Pro Max will actually have a variable optical zoom between 5 and 6x like the Sony Xperia, which has about 3.5 to 5.5x. For those that may not know, there are 2 kinds of zoom on a camera. There's optical and then there's digital. Optical zoom retains picture quality and is a function of the lens, versus digital zoom tends to deteriorate quality to be able to zoom into the picture. Large optical zoom typically means a larger, maybe even a longer lens, which is why it's so tricky to fit into a smartphone. Samsung's latest S23 Ultra has an excellent optical zoom with up to 10x on a 10 megapixel camera, but as you notice that the megapixels are actually lower there. Most other cameras offer up to 3x optical zoom, including the iPhone 14 Pro with a 12 megapixel camera. So the jump to 5x optical zoom with the same megapixels will be quite significant, and you can finally take those long distance shots down the mountain or across the river or zooming into a sports game of your favorite player without losing quality. Apart from this, there's a lot of talk about other features like a 48 megapixel camera coming to the non-Pro models, but in my opinion this is a bit of smoke and mirrors for most regular users, since to shoot in 48 megapixels you'll first have to shift to the Pro RAW format, which you'll probably not use, and otherwise you'll remain at 12 megapixels like you already have. More pixels that you get in a higher megapixel camera are actually not necessarily a good thing. These are only useful for pro photographers who want to either crop the picture or blow it up to a very large size, say a massive poster on a wall. But for most regular users, between 10 and 20 megapixels works very well. In fact, more pixels can actually be bad, because when you upload an overly large picture to social media or output it to a printer or send it to a photo book producer, your image will get downsized automatically. That's because the software or the upload process will randomly delete pixels without the smarts to understand what might be critical in the picture, like the sparkle in a child's eye or the razor sharp edge of a leaf. Photos with too many megapixels also take much longer to upload, might even fail partway through. If you're uploading on the go, you're eating into your wireless data plan more than you need, so don't get fooled by the marketing tactics. The thing that matters in cameras will be things like the optical zoom and the size of the sensor, and equally important, the processing software that accompanies it, that Apple and Google have perfected over the years, which makes their cameras so much better than the others. Feature 2 is the full titanium body, very similar to the excellent Apple Watch Ultra, and if that's anything to go by, it's going to make the iPhone lighter, much more durable, free of scratches and fingerprints. I've had the Ultra for a year, and whatever I do, I can't seem to get a single fingerprint or scratch on it, and the brushed titanium is a beautiful material with premium feel. Look at these beautiful renders of what the iPhone 15 Pro Max could actually look like in brushed titanium done by TT Technology on his channel. Feature 3 is the shift to USB-C from Lightning, and this is less of a feature that Apple is willingly building in and more of a compulsion, given the new law in the European Union requires smartphones and tablets to allow USB-C charging as a common standard to reduce e-waste from chargers and devices. The EU actually estimates that this will save about 11,000 metric tons of annual e-waste resulting from unused chargers in the EU. Frankly, given how literally every single smartphone manufacturer has moved to USB-C, it's a bit surprising that Apple has held out for this long, since it's extremely environmental environmentally unfriendly, and everyone needs special chargers just for their iPhones. And not just individuals, but businesses and corporates and public spaces like airports and taxis. It's extremely inconvenient, like when my partner and I travel and need to carry multiple chargers for our Android and Apple phones and then separate chargers for our watches. That's why this feature matters to you. It means that the iPhone will finally stop being that one gadget in your house that needs a separate charger. Feature 4 is the new action button, similar again to the Apple Watch Ultra. This will replace the current mute button or the mute switch, which only switches between mute and loud on your iPhone. The new action button will help you not only mute, but can be customized by you to activate things like the camera or activate workouts, a flashlight, voice memos, magnifier, and so much more. This is a pretty neat feature that will give power to you to choose what you want on that button. For example, if you're on a vacation, you can customize it to go to the camera and not lose time in capturing the moment when you see a dolphin in the sea or a rainbow out the window or pass the most majestic mountain pass only for a moment. Feature 5 is one that will put Apple on top of the smartphone industry on this dimension and take the crown from the Xiaomi 13 for the thinnest bezels on a smartphone. This will help Apple achieve the original vision that Steve Jobs had for the iPhone, to make one giant screen, one single slab of glass, no obstructions, no border, no notch, no button, nothing between you and every damn pixel on that screen. That was the vision that he had for the iPhone, and this is what the new iPhone 15 should look like, and man, that looks pretty damn good. With all these features being added, and the inflation in material prices in the last year, there's also a rumor that Apple will be increasing its prices by $100 to $200, especially for its Pro models, which will mean the first price hike since 2010. Please do subscribe if you like this video and watch one of these two videos next. See you there.